Collin Moulton, one of our favorite funny guests. You've seen him on Comedy Central, and he'll be live this weekend in Kirkland at the Laughs Comedy Spot. Collin will be there with two shows tonight and tomorrow. Now, where are you from, Collin?
I live in Monterey, California.
All right.
We bought a condo there because we were about $2,000 short of buying an NFL football team. So we thought, why not buy a bad condo with used carpet in a bad neighborhood?
Anywhere near forest fires, or you don't have to worry about that stuff?
We don't have to worry about it unless my wife is cooking, and then
it could be a problem.
Then there's a problem.
You have a beautiful daughter. Last time, I believe, how long ago was it?
It was about a year ago, I think, that I was here. Maybe a little more, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
She's growing up now. Is she talking?
Yeah, she's talking. She's 2. We got married a year and a half ago, and we have a 2-year-old daughter, which is a coincidence, you know. But we wanted to have the baby first, make sure it was cute before we committed long term, because I think that's responsible. There's enough ugly babies.
You wanted to be out of there.
Yeah. But she's, you know what I've learned from my 2-year-old daughter is that, first of all, we're all born shoplifters, and then we have to unlearn that. And then the other part is that I don't take my balance for granted. Have you ever watched a toddler try to make it across the room without knocking over, spilling, or otherwise destroying everything in her path? Have you guys, does anybody have kids, like little kids?
Yeah. Well, mine's
isn't it amazing that it's always at a house where there's no other children and the people are so apologetic? That's the fun part for the parent. They're like, I'm so sorry. We shouldn't have left that out. It's not her fault. And I'm like, yes, it is. You don't get it. She wants to destroy. That's what she does. We don't have valuables. We've lost our freedom, our independence. It's like she's an occupying nation. She's not even a country. All we can hope is to someday overthrow her and go to her house and draw on the walls and pee everywhere just to get back at her.
Were you listening earlier to the national ID card, which they're disguising as a driver's license for young people?
Yeah, that's sneaky stuff, bro.
It is, a little bit.
Yeah, the president... He's either hated or loved, man. This guy, right? There's no in between.
Pretty much.
Nobody's
actually, I think there's a bunch of in between Republicans now who really aren't happy, but the thought of Hillary Clinton in the White House just freaks them out. And maybe maybe it's going to happen, isn't it?
She just won New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this country is like a bachelor pad. It's like a single dad's bachelor pad. It's been run by men the whole time. There's weird stuff in the corners. Our kids are uneducated. They're overweight.
Yeah. Cheerios for dinner.
We're broke as a country. We're borrowing money from our Chinese friend, and we pick fights every single night. Really? She's going to have to come in and start kicking around the pizza boxes and cleaning up.
You call beer signs art? Really, you people?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
So it sounds like you think it might be a good idea, a good change of pace.
I don't know. I think she's part of the machine still. You know what I mean? Like, and her husband, I don't know. Like, people ask, do you consider her like it's hard to consider her even a woman, really, because of Bill, because he's, she can't be sexual. It'd be like imagining Ron Jeremy's girlfriend as a sexual person. You can't.
Well,
it's not possible. Ann Coulter called Clinton gay on national television. Did you see that on Donnie Deutsch?
No.
She goes, I think his promiscuity shows signs of homosexuality. How funny is that? Clinton had to see that and be like, what does a pimp gotta do? That dude had sex with Paula Jones. I think he's done his time.
Yeah, you're here.
How many questionable women do I have to not recall screwing?
Now, your mom is into politics, is she not?
She's a political activist, which is like a hippie with a day planner. She's a busy hippie.
And she's in our area, right?
She lives in Northgate, yeah. She's in her mid-70s now. And so she's given up the weed for a nice, stiff vodka. She did that about 40 years ago and didn't look back.
Who's she backing? Who's she working for if she's an activist?
Ron Paul probably more than anybody. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I love Ron Paul. But she voted for Nader back in the day. And Nader's like that goofy neighbor that shows up at your house on Sunday when you're drunk at your own garage sale. So you have to talk to him, right? And he's got like 9 PhDs and a paper route. Like, where did this guy go wrong?
You should separate the brown and the green bottles. You really should do that.
Lord of the Rings. Okay. Get out of my yard. I'm not voting for you.
Now, Ron Paul, I was was saying earlier, I think he's the Ross Perot of this campaign.
Yeah, but Ross wasn't Ross was not on the educated side. He was just on the real side, right? I voted for Ross, dude. I feel.
Did you vote for Ross Perot?
Yeah, I really
I actually did too. No, I'm one of those people like you that can be swayed if it's like
if it's real.
If we're fed up with everybody and somebody's real, but he's a total wild card and he may ruin everything, but at least he'll mix it up. I'll vote for it.
Do you also have a gambling problem? Because I do. Yeah, I do. Funny how that goes hand in hand.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Ron Paul, man, that guy actually is the first guy to be on that wild card kind of area that actually is saying real stuff, man. He's not just saying stuff that opposes the machine, but actually is real. The constitutionalist idea that he could actually run on a card like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, it's real. But I don't know.
But did he have to say, you can't shave a beaver and expect to wake up with a wildebeest? That's not going to happen.
That was Ross.
That's not, yeah.
Yeah, no, if Ron said that would really
You can't fill a silo full of jelly beans and expect to wake up with a steak on your plate in the morning. That's not how life works.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You and I have something in common. We both just read Steve Martin's autobiography, and I was talking to you, and you said your very first stand-up comic you ever saw was Steve Martin.
I was 7 years old. My mother took me to a college show in Madison, Wisconsin. And he
writes about
it's a hip place, isn't it?
She was a hippie. So he writes about those shows in his book. That must have been really weird for you to read.
Yeah. Actually, it was. There was a couple times he was talking about that tour, and I was like, wow, I saw that tour. You know, yeah, it was really neat. I think that guy was he's amazing. It's a great book. I would promote it if I could.
Was that
and I'm doing it right now.
Get Small? Was that tour?
It was the Let's Get Small. It was Getting Small tour. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But Steve's awesome, man. He's my favorite kind of, and honestly, my comedy doesn't even sound at all like him. Other than maybe in the beginning, I might have the audience do some sort of weird participation thing. So, but it's not
right. You don't. He was famous for actually taking the audience
out into the street, man.
I haven't read the book yet, and I feel like I've let myself down for not reading it. But I watched the interview. I watched the interview with Charlie Rose and him and Steve Martin.
Oh,
and he
good.
said he does a show and he's meticulous about his preparation. Every eyebrow raise Steve Martin has practiced 1,000 times in every show. But he said he had a show that went well, but he didn't feel good about it. And he took everybody outside afterward and had them all march into an empty pool and just had them do something. And he said, wait a minute. This is something.
Yeah, it was afterward that he realized. But the reason it sort of happened from necessity. They were in this room, and he started packing up his stuff. And there's no way for him to leave the stage. He was in the room with them, and they were just sitting there watching him because you can't tell with Steve Martin if he's being serious or silly. So he's like, "All right, everybody, thanks. That's the show." And he went over and started packing, and they just sat there looking at him. And he's like, "Okay, that's it." And he kept doing it. Yeah, and they kept watching him, and he's like, "And now I'm leaving." And they followed him, and he's like, "And now we're walking in the street." And they went out and they found the swimming pool, and he just
they're
kept
waiting.
moving.
They're waiting for the payoff, and the payoff is waiting for the payoff.
With him, always.
Yeah. So, lastly, before you go, I understand.
I'm just joking. I know you got a job.
I'm building for your big finish.
Oh, okay.
You used to wrestle. You don't wrestle anymore.
I used to wrestle. I don't wrestle anymore. And honestly, I love wrestling. I love rolling around with sweaty guys. Okay, I'll be honest with you, Bob.
Yeah. What did Dan Coulter say about you?
Something like that. Yeah. I actually wrestled a little bit in Wisconsin. I was just there for New Year's, and I was home there, and I got to roll there with some of the guys. And it was really fun. Some mixed martial arts guys that were
It's kind of a weird, if you've seen the movie Borat, it is kind of a weird thing for guys to be around each other.
Well, those guys, they're hideous and crazy looking. Yeah, if you're going to roll around with a sweaty, half-naked guy, at least you should be fit. I mean,
be able to breathe.
Yeah,
but you should wear a cup of some sort.
I got pulled over by a guy in Wisconsin. Was coming back from wrestling in Wisconsin, and so I was all sweaty and crazy. I was in a hurry, and I'm trying to get to something. I was late, and I'm driving. I get pulled over by a police officer with a speech impediment. This is not made up. This is a true story. How this happened to a comic, I have no idea.
Really?
The guy goes. He comes up to the window and he goes, "My name's Tim Parks from the Sheriff's Department. Do you know I pulled you over this evening?" I was like, to mess with my head? Are you serious? How am I supposed to not laugh at him and go to jail forever? That's not even fair. And he's a sheriff. How dangerous is that? Free. He's got a mean stutter. Could you imagine having a stutter? That was the worst thing. If you had a stutter and got pulled over by that guy, do you know I pulled you over? No. Don't you mock me. That's how I get on the good. I didn't 9-hour traffic stop.
Collin Moulton, Friday and Saturday.
Buddy, come see it. We're going to have a blast.
Laughs Comedy Spot in Kirkland. All the info is on the web. Good to see you, Colin.